Okay guys, welcome back to my fourth and final part, you could say, of my videos from today. Uh, each one was talking about The Walking Dead. This video right here is going to talk about the entire franchise. This year marks the 15th anniversary of The Walking Dead. This franchise started back in 2003 with the comic book, issue number 1. And it's now 2018 and we have the TV show, the comics still going. We have the companion show, we have the games, we have the novels, we have a ton of stuff Walking Dead related. And I'm just going to say right now, this year has probably been the worst year to be a Walking Dead fan. Because even though I still think the franchise is good, like without a doubt, I can still enjoy this franchise, but there have been so much bad news related to the franchise this past year that it really is a tough year to be a Walking Dead fan. It's been constant bad news. I'm going to start with the comic book. Now, the comic book I have no complaints about. The comic book is really what started this year. It was the first thing Walking Dead related we got, and the comic still is really fucking strong. The New World Order storyline has been fantastic, and that was really cool. The New World Order storyline finished a few issues back, but it's still kind of continuing. I mean, like, you hardly expected them to introduce a huge community and then get rid of that story within 6 issues. Obviously, those 6 issues were building that community up, getting to know that community. Now, the storyline has kind of been going in a way of how are we going to live alongside them, something like that. And the comic's been pretty fucking enjoyable. I apologize for the language, but I want to get this video done within 15 minutes, so it's not too long. The other things I wanted to talk about were, in terms of comic merchandise. No, they didn't do as much as you'd think they would with the 15th anniversary. Just merchandise in general. We're getting a figure based on the Princess character, which is coming out for Walking Dead Day, which is next month, celebrating the 15th anniversary, of course, 2003 to 2018. And we're getting a black and white bloody version of the Princess and just a colored version of the Princess. Both those figures looking pretty cool. We are getting blind bag variants based on a bunch of the key issues. And I gotta say, seeing all the covers, I haven't seen like the black and white versions and the virgin covers. Now, you may be saying, what does virgin cover mean? That just means like the logo and the price tag doesn't appear on the cover. It's basically like having a poster, but with the comic still included. I don't think they've shown what the virgin covers and the black and white versions of the covers look like. They just show what the ordinary cover looks like, and every single one of them I think was a hit. They were all really fucking cool. Maybe my favorite was 127. I think that cover was probably the best one. Issue number 1 and 2, they were all really awesome. And the figure, of course, is also pretty awesome. They have an issue number 1 variant coming out as well. One that's not a blind bag, but like another issue 1 variant, which is also a really cool variant. And we've also been getting a variant every month along with each new issue, which is basically a tribute cover to a character. In January we got one of Rick, February we got one of Michonne, and so on and so on. And I think those covers have been pretty cool. Now, some people have had mixed feelings on them. Some people don't like the way they look. Some people do like them. Some like some of them and don't like others. What you gonna do? But really, the comic has been really good. Moving on to the TV show, this is where things start to get bad. Excuse me. A few months back, Andrew Lincoln and Lauren Cohen, were both rumored to be leaving The Walking Dead, and that turned out to be true. Rick, who's my favorite character in the entire franchise, and Maggie, who is definitely up there as one of my favorite characters. Maybe not in my top 5, but she is definitely high on my favorite characters. Probably in my top 10. They are both leaving the show. And this really was a real kick to the fan base. I can understand why they were leaving the show. It still sucks that they are, but I will support those actors and what they got coming up. I really hope Andrew Lincoln, gets a good career after this, because I think he is probably my favorite actor. So he is. I just think no matter how bad people say the Walking Dead TV show got, I don't think you could ever deny Andrew Lincoln didn't give his all in his performance. He always gave 110%. And I really hope, seeing how this is his final season, I really hope they make him go out with a bang. Now Maggie, they have said, might return, which is a bit more hopeful. Andrew Lincoln is going to return to the show, but as director. Instead of playing Rick, he's just going to direct the episodes, which, okay, at least he's still going to be somewhat involved with the show. Well, not somewhat involved, but he actually full on is going to be involved. Now, you may also say Carl getting killed off has also been a bad part of this year. The thing with Carl, I don't count that as a bad thing for this year. I count that as a bad thing for last year, because it was last year he got bait. It was last year he was dying. It was just the episode that aired this year where he just finally got killed off. I just consider that something that was a part of last year. But still, we did get the episode of his death this year. So you could also argue that was a bad part of this year. Because I think Carl has pretty much been the biggest, most unnecessary death in the entire franchise. And really, they really shouldn't have done that. Next up is Fear the Walking Dead, and I got a few things to say about Fear the Walking Dead. When season 4 started, it was excellent. The first episode of season 4 was absolutely brilliant. And it really seemed like Fear was going to be at its best this year. Now, the first bad thing happened was when Frank Delane left the show. For you guys who don't know, Frank Delane played Nick Clark. And he wanted to leave the show, so, that's out of the showrunner's control. They get a pass on that. So his exit was definitely, it really kicked off Fear the Walking Dead's downhill spiral for the fans. And then episode 8 came around, and it did something a lot of people were worried they were going to do. And that was kill off Madison. And they did it. Now, personally, I think, seeing how they made her death look ambiguous, now they said 100% she is dead. But they can retcon that. I feel as though they can retcon it. She didn't want to leave the show. And, they kind of left it wide open enough to where if they wanted to, they could bring her back. And at this point in time, I think they should. The second half of Fear the Walking Dead has been probably the worst half of Fear we've gotten. I think the only half that was worse than this was the second half of season 2. But at least the second half of season 2 had Travis and stuff, so now I don't think the second half of season 2 or 4 have just been downright bad. They're watchable, I enjoy them, but they are the weakest parts of Fear the Walking Dead, definitely. And I hope the season finale can maybe salvage this season a bit and we can get a pretty good season 5. Next up, I want to talk about Overkill's The Walking Dead, and here's where we got more bad news. This game was slated for a November release for PC, for PS4 and Xbox One. Now the PC version is still coming out in November. The PS4 and the Xbox One version have been delayed until February, which sucks. And you know, we can't get around it. At least those versions haven't been cancelled or anything. Now, speaking of cancelled, let's talk about Telltale's The Walking Dead. Telltale, after just years of people saying like they were just adding on too many properties, you know, they were doing too many games at once. And now they had to lay off like 95% of their employees. Their employees are coming back at them with lawsuits and stuff. At least one is anyway. And they are looking for outside help to finish the Walking Dead game. Now, personally, I do think they will get the game finished, but this was such a shock just to see that this game was going to be like basically finished halfway through, and that was a real kick. Even on the figure side, we were supposed to be getting a 7-inch Rick figure, Negan figure, and Maggie figure. I'm showing those figures right now. This is what they were going to look like, and they've pretty much been cancelled. If I remember correctly, McFarlane said that they were going to delay them, but they might not even make them anyway. So we might not even see these get made, which is unfortunate because these figures did look pretty good. Like even the figures aren't safe. That's crazy. Hopefully 2019 can be a better year. Hopefully, you know, the Saints and Sinners Walking Dead game coming out next year for the VR will be pretty good. I think it's coming out on PlayStation VR, Oculus. It'll probably come out on like those. And let's hope next year is a much better year, because this year has been a constant string of bad news. And you know, I'm obviously sticking with this franchise, but this year was definitely the worst year. The fan base has been pretty split. Can you even call them split anymore? It's a lot of the fans are just turning on the show. A lot of people are saying the franchise is dead. I don't believe that. I think the TV show, you can argue, is dead, or at least dying, but the franchise as a whole I don't think is dead or dying. As I said, the comic book is as good as it's ever been. You know, I have no complaints about the novels. First of all, they haven't even released a novel this year. because the novel we got last year pretty much ended the storyline of the novel. So the novel's kind of got like a beginning, a middle, and end. So if you want to see how that turns out, you know, you can just look up those novels. I have, if you want to see what novels of The Walking Dead there are, I recommend watching my comic collection video for The Walking Dead, as I showed the novels in that video. Here's where I stand on The Walking Dead, because this has pretty much been talking about everything that's happened. There might even be stuff I'm leaving out. I've said before many times, I'm going to stick with this franchise till the end. And I stand by what I said. Fear the Walking Dead is ending Sunday night. So we're going to see how that season ends. And yeah. I'm really sorry I haven't gotten many videos out in the past few months. Lately I've just not been in a Walking Dead type mood. What I mean by that is I've kind of just been, you know, following other stuff like what Marvel has been putting out. It's not that I fell off with The Walking Dead. I still love The Walking Dead. It's just that I was focusing on Marvel for a while. And yeah. I've still been keeping an eye on everything Walking Dead related. You know, I've been watching the episodes as they come out of Fear. I've been playing the game as it comes out. I've been keeping up with the news. So that's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm glad this video didn't go on for like an hour. I think this is a good time to end it. I just want to leave it off by saying, what do you guys think? Do you think this has been the worst year of the franchise? Do you think The Walking Dead is salvageable? I think it is. And what do you think the future of the franchise is going to be like? You know, AMC are confident. They're saying this is going to last another 10 years. The main show and Fear the Walking Dead are not going to last another 10 years. They must mean like spin-offs and stuff, because, you know, eventually people are just going to tune out because like, how long more till Carol's actor? How long more till Michonne's actor leaves? I mean, like, Michonne, Denai Guerrera, has had a pretty good career. You know, she was in Black Panther, she was in Avengers, Infinity War. You know, who knows how long she's going to want to stay in the show now. We just gotta wait and see and hope things get better. Anyway, I thank you guys for watching this video. I'll speak with you again. Goodbye.